The Survivor Specialists, Phil, Will, and Blake are back, and today we continue our Survivor 49 coverage. We are drafting our fantasy teams. Yes, that is what we are doing. If you're a patron, you've already gotten to hear some of Blake's takes on this cast. Will and I did our cast assessment last week. If you're not a patron, this is the first time you're going to hear from Blake, so I think he said sunshine, rainbows, happiness, butterflies. I think that's what he said. I think he said nothing but positivity coming from Blake this time.
Whose occupation made him think there's no chance they can win the game? That's what I want to know.
That's what I want to know too. Who is it, Blake?
Honestly, there's about 7 of them. So we'll
Who's the graphic designer of this season?
Oh my goodness. No, political strategists go really far.
You sure about that?
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that? Yeah, anyway, I'm excited to see what Blake's hot takes are going to be this time, and whoever he wants the least is who I want as my first pick overall. So let's dive into this. So we're going to be doing, for anybody who's been playing along in the past, we do the fantasy game for our patrons, patreon.com/thespecialist. The link is in the description of this video. Winner gets a prize. I pretty much let you kind of choose what you want the prize to be, whether it's a buff or, if you want like a cameo from somebody or something like that. We can kind of talk through. You can make the prize what you want. You're already a patron, so whatever you want to do, we'll figure that out. But I know last year the winner was Jayburn Aquatic, who was very pumped about that.
Wow.
1,929 points, which I know nobody knows what that means. It was a lot. He had Kyle and Joe and Camilla and Mitch on his team. So he absolutely
Eva,
crushed
the
it.
loser. Why can't we just talk to Survivor and see if we can give out a spot on the cast of season 53?
Yeah, Blake.
That would be good. That might draw some people to our
that.
Patreon page if we can award a spot on the season of Survivor. That'd be good.
I mean,
And the winner of Survivor 52, Jayburn Aquatic. He goes by his username the whole time.
That would be good.
That would be good. Anyway, here we are. Hey, just think about it. During seasons 21 and 23, 21, Jimmy T won a contest to get on the show. 23, Rick won a contest to get on the show. So honestly, if we did this as a contest to get on the show, we wouldn't be batting. We'd probably be batting better than Survivor itself or whatever that fan contest was. So here we are. Jayburn Aquatic just letting us know I'm the reigning champ. The GOAT, thank you, with the super
Feeling
chat.
so confident he's giving us $2 back.
Dude, I love it. I love it. But yes, so if you want to participate in this game, go check out patreon.com/special. It's only for our top tier patrons. You'll also be able to participate in the power rankings game, which we do once the season gets going. That one starts week 2. If you want to get involved with the fantasy game, we're doing this much earlier than we usually do. You got to get your fantasy teams in before week 1. I will be putting a link to this fantasy draft or to our fantasy site on the Patreon. So if you're a patron and you're like, where do I find the link? It's not in the description of the video. It is going to be sent to the top tier patrons in a chat over on Patreon. So make sure you check that out. Otherwise, I'm ready to draft the teams. Should we pull up the scoring and see if there's anything we want to change? Because
such a good idea.
We should just review the overall scoring, but it's a lot of Phil, we used to score it ourselves, but this makes everything easier. But essentially, you want to just draft people that are going to be in it for a while, right?
I mean, Jayburn Aquatic also had Chrissy, and Chrissy did not get him a lot of points. Somewhere that I like to look
team. So you read out his team just to see what a winning team looks like.
I'll tell you how many points everybody got. Kyle, as the winner, got 466. Joe got 425. Camilla got 373. Mitch got 260. David got 255. So only 5 behind Mitch, despite lasting much shorter. Chrissy was only 150.
So who is Jayburn's Aquatics team?
What do you mean, who is his team?
He just said who his team was.
I thought you were going in order of the people who.
No, that was all Jayburn's team.
That was Jayburn Aquatics team.
Damn.
We're doing great.
Right.
We're doing great. We're
That's a great team. I mean, that is just that's really good.
It's the winning one. Yeah, there's nobody did any better. Okay, tell us how we score points this year.
Well, can I just do this real quick? I finished 10th last season. I just want to bring that up. Out of everybody, I was 10th. Will, you were 21st. Blake, out of 33 teams, you were 32nd.
nobody always beats me. I'm always going to be better than at least one team. I think it was,
Blake got -3 from Stephanie.
I was back on what was it? It was one of those like snake drafts, and I got all the bad people on the very end, I think.
I hate when that happens, man. Yeah, you were Stephanie -3, Charity got you 91, Chrissy 150, Star 190, David 255, and Mary also with 260. So
91 from Charity feels really high, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how Charity did that. That must have been because her tribe kept winning challenges. Because
just didn't go to tribal council.
Yeah, let's show off what the scoring is. So this is from Real TV Fantasy. We change up some of the scoring. So this kind of reflects what we did last year with a little bit. There's some changes that we could consider doing. So winning the game is 50, runner-up is 20, individual immunity is 20, wins team immunity only counts if you didn't sit out is 15, shot in the dark says safe is 15, contesting catches food 10, only 1 per setting, second runner-up is 10, gets an advantage in the game 10. All of this stuff that you're looking at right here, we did the same. Second team reward. So second in the team reward only counts if you didn't sit out. That's 5. That's new. Second place in team immunity has 5. That's also new, I believe, for this year. But pretty much everything you're looking at here, I don't know. I'm not going to read them all out because it's going to be very boring for a lot of people. But if you guys are looking at this and there's anything that stands out.
Is there any way we can add stuff?
So like, what do you want to add?
Can we give 10 points for absolutely slain?
No.
Yeah, I don't know how we compute that one.
Yeah. Losing fire making -5, sitting out of competition -5, losing your vote -5, being bribed by Jeff not to finish a competition -10, medical removal -10, contestant voted off -10, last place in individual challenge -10, contestant quits or gets kicked off -50. We used to never do any drama romance, but Real TV Fantasy has really upped the game here. Hugging Jeff is now involved.
A touchdown?
Big deal. 6
I mean,
points.
that's like,
yeah,
you
without
think
the
we
extra point.
inspired that?
I think we did, honestly. Like,
I feel like
I really
we're
do.
the number one proponents of players hugging Jeff and talk about it probably more than any other Survivor outlet. I would just wager. That would be a prop bet.
I don't think anybody else thinks about it at all. That would be my prediction. I think we might be the only ones who even think about it. So yeah. But yeah, so hugging Jeff, 6 points. So we also have compares themselves to a previous Survivor player with 5, saying in this game with 3, saying big moves with 3, saying let's go with 3, saying 100%. Well, we might have to make that like 25 points, saying 100%. I don't know.
100%.
Is there no points if they show?
What about 150,000%? What would Mike Holloway always say?
What's it? Is that what he said?
500,000%.
I'm just like that line. 100%.
Can we get this homes.com logo out of here, please?
Dude, I wish I could. I can't get rid of it. That's the only knock I have, but it's because I'm doing the free version here. So we also have swearing 3. I didn't do anything for nudity, saying the prize money. These were all things that were in there already last year, and we just didn't give any consideration to. So I didn't feel like it was necessary to. I just thought it was fun.
List?
These were ones that I just thought were fun and new. So why not?
Great.
And then immunity idols. Uses a fake idol that the contestant made, 25, correct idol play 15, finds an idol 10, plays immunity idol for another contestant 10, creates super immunity 10, makes fake immunity idol 5, helps find advantage or idol 5, votes canceled out by immunity idol or shot in the dark 3, incorrectly plays an idol -5, contestant plays a fake idol -10, leaves the game with immunity idol in the pocket -15. So that's everything. That's everything. There's my team that you guys can now see that I don't have. All right. How do we want to do the draft order here? What do you guys think?
We go reverse order. I think it goes Blake, me, then Phil.
I think you FaceTime Rome and see if he answers.
I wish I had Rome's number,
like,
man.
You don't have his number? You have Instagram video him or something. He's most likely to pick up from you, right?
You think so? Rome right now? No,
Rip
that's
it.
good.
Yeah.
We're doing no.
I think
Let's go.
I think we reverse the rankings from last season. It's kind of the way you do it.
I think though, like you should almost be punished if you're second to last out of 33. Like I feel like
I need the most help.
That.
Do you know how they draft? Do you know how many times the Lions drafted?
I mean, that's kind of how drafts work, Phil. Like if you perform poorly, you get a better pick the next season.
You know, like a couple years ago, maybe it was last year, the Dolphins like committed something where they lost their first round pick, even though it would have been like a top 10 pick. Like I feel like that's what Blake did essentially last year.
I was like, I care more about 49 than 48, so I'm going to sandbag this one.
Yeah.
He might have done that.
Anyway,
I'll go first. Right. I like that.
All right, Blake goes first. I love the idea of Blake going first because we were all kind of talking about this. We obviously know the players who are going to be on 40 or who are going to be on 50. And I was like, I won't take them first. Like, no way. Blake is not that guy. Blake is the guy who's like any advantage I can get. I know your screensaver, your background in college was our Spoiled Survivor, right? Wasn't it? Wasn't that what you always say?
That didn't even exist back then.
Oh man,
how do you know it didn't exist back then, Blake?
Blake,
you were there for its founding. Is that what you're suggesting?
I'm literally, I'm spoiled.
You're the mod.
Yeah,
Blake is the mod.
I'm the mod name spoiled. First, I want to get some like general thought process about this cast. I don't know if you guys want to do that or if you want to go straight.
We did that for like 2 hours last week.
Well, yeah, so. I haven't done anything. I think I watched all the Meet the Cast. It was 1 minute and 6 seconds for each of them. It was very allotted, and I thought to myself, is this the nerdiest / quirkiest cast of all time? And it feels like the CBS has said, let's lean into this. This is what we want. This is who represents our fan base now. And it seems very much like, as I got through the first 5, I was like, dang, all of those people were nerdy. And then there was another 5, and 3 out of 5 of those were nerdy. And then I was like, well, at least, okay, there's this guy at the end. He's not going to be nerdy. And he's like, I'm a self-proclaimed nerd. And I was like, damn, it is, I think 7 out of 8 dudes, maybe 6 out of 8 women are all saying they're nerdy.
What about the other? There's 9 men and 9 women. So what happened to the other one?
Oh my God. Out of sight, out of mind on those guys. But it was just, I'm wondering if everybody's feeling that. I'm wondering how that will kind of like, is this going to be a very weird season because it's going to be the most well-versed cast ever? But then there's some people who are like, I started watching a year ago, and you're like, I don't think that's going to work out for you. But that's a little bit of a preview. And maybe if you have that fresh in your mind or memorized from last week, you'll know what I'm talking about. But if we want to start picking, I can start picking too.
Hey man, it's your pick. You could stand here for hours and fill.
Oh, we were officially first pick. Okay, with the first pick,
Will's head could not shake faster.
He's not allowed to do that.
With the first pick of the 49 inaugural draft, I'm gonna choose. I can't remember her name. Let's see. I think it's Savannah. Louis. Couldn't remember. I think I'm getting really good vibes from her. It does seem like I like that she's equal parts like, I'm gonna make it hard for my opponents and allies, and then you come cry on my shoulder. She does seem like her hobbies are hiking, Pilates, and something else that was physical. She seems the least nerdiest. And she said she's going to be a mix of Dee and Kim Spradlin, which could not be. There's the 2 most dominant female winners of all time. You're like, if you're going for it, go for it. Like, all right, I'm Team Savannah over here. Let's see why she's a Survivor legend.
Dude, I mean,
I'll be in the front row, baby.
So this is something I addressed this back during during 50 or something like that. I posted something on our YouTube channel where I said, if you spoil anything from 49 or 50, even if you hint that you have a spoiler, I'm just blocking you. Like, I'm literally just blocking you because I understand that we're in a very tough situation now where we all know the Survivor 50 cast. If you're perennially online, then you know who from 49 is on 50. We don't know the placements or anything like that. We don't. We just know that these people are good enough to go and play 50. Okay? That's what we know. My thing is though, like if you leave a comment that's honestly, I'm so excited to block people after the AU versus the world coverage. I'm so ready to go. Like if even if it's like, don't joke about it because I'm just going to take it seriously. I have no sense of humor right now over any of this stuff because it's just like, I don't want our channel to be something that starts ruining 49 and 50 for others. I don't know if there's 49 spoilers out there at all. I know that 50, there was some chaos that happened at one point, but like, I'm not allowing people to come on here and us be the way that people get spoiled or anything. The only thing we know is Rizgod and Savannah are on the next season. And the only thing I know is Blake will do anything he can to get an advantage in a game where there is nothing to win except for pride. And Blake loves having.
I thought I'm getting a spot on Survivor 53 if I win.
I mean, honestly, man, like you needed that. You did need that. So Savannah off the board. Let me ask you this though, Blake, very, very sincerely asking you this question. If you didn't know that she was going to be on Survivor 50 and you watched that video of hers, are you picking her first? Are you picking her early?
So I saw this somewhere else and I completely agreed with it. It was literally in the comments of the Meet the Cast because there's not some moderation on YouTube from the CBS page. Somebody said, even if I didn't know who was on Survivor 50, boy, do Savannah and Rizgod pop in this cast. And as somebody who I work in casting, it is some people pop, Savannah pops. So it is something where I don't.
Who said that? I wonder.
Was it you? It was your YouTube thing.
It was. Like, I literally said that in the cast assessment.
I agree with that, and it is something where if you've watched more than 27 seasons, I think if you watch Savannah's video, you're like, oh, I'm aligning with her or getting her out first. Like we can't be adversaries with her.
Yeah, Will and I talked about this at the end of our cast assessment where we were like, I said there's like 5 people who I would have thought if I like that. If there were 2 people on 50, who would I think? There was like 5 people that I was looking at. And Savannah.
It's like if you got to pick 5 out of the 18 to guess who'd be on 50, if you didn't know, you would probably put Savannah and Rizzo in that conversation.
Absolutely. All right. So Blake takes Savannah off the board. Crazy out of nowhere pick. This is just the shock of all shocks. Will, are you going to be as shocking as Blake?
I don't know if I'll be as shocking. Potentially though. I think just my overall vibes, if you didn't listen to the cast assessment, I didn't get like Blake, I did get nerdy energy and vibes, but like don't you feel that way about like the entire new era almost?
This is egregiously.
You think it's even worse this season than it is before? I feel like every season we get like 12 people being like, I'm a self-proclaimed nerd. Like I feel like we get that all the time.
I do. I agree. And then there's like people don't look like me where I come from. And then it's like I was even nerdier before and now I'm not nerdy as now. So like even the people that like I throw bags. It's like, no, I'm a nerdy guy that throws bags. Like I am. There was another one. Like I agree with what you're saying, but it seems like to me it's a main point instead of like a behind the thought process of this. Like it's in the forefront instead of like I don't want to admit it. Everybody's proud of it. Everybody's coming to you. This is why I'm on the show. Because I'm such a nerd about this. And like people are being like, I've watched 15 years. I've watched 20 years. My Nona was like, I want to have sex with Jeff Probst. So put me on the show. I was like, what? That's a crazy
God, I spelled it Savannah. That's not N.
Yeah.
I don't recall that particular line, Blake, but
I don't know if that was the exact line there.
You'll have to
I think she said it in I think she said it in a different language and I was translating for you guys.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Will, who you picking?
I'm going to go with Rizzo.
Dude, come on. This is just
Let's
the worst.
Go!
I really got good energy from this video. It's mainly because Rizgod was listening to our cast assessment and watching our cast assessment and chiming in the chat.
No way.
Are
you allowed to do that for
I've been listening to you guys for a while. Keep it up. Or I think he said like since what season did he say? Millennials versus Gen.
He said around Adam Klein.
So wrong.
Yeah.
Or something.
It was around Adam. Yeah.
Didn't he say "Where's Blake" too?
I think that
think
was
he
with
said,
the Nona line.
Get rid
Those
of
are
Blake.
hanging
I
out
think
together.
that's what it was.
So because he gave us props, I'm gonna throw props right back at him. You know,
That's crazy.
It got
He
great
needs it.
energy from his video, and has nothing to do with potentially him returning on a future season.
Dude, I mean, like at this point, what's so funny, Will? So you and I back during season 33, we knew Adam had listened to us. Adam had won our games, right? Adam had won our bootless game. I think we were allowed to do back then because this was before Blake created Spoiled Survivor and just ruined it for everybody. And so we did the bootless game. Adam gets on to season 33 after we had just handed this man a buff, and we don't pick him to win. Because what was everybody's mind doing at that point? We all knew that Michaela and Zeke were going to be on season 34. So there was more of a thought process of, well, they're going to probably do pretty well. Like the 34 cast is pretty all over the place, but like they'll probably do pretty well to be playing back to back. And I know I had picked Chris Hammonds as my winner. Will, I forget who you picked, but neither one of us picked Adam because I remember Adam coming on the podcast being like, you guys didn't think I had a chance.
Who did I pick? It's a good question. I might have picked Will Wall just because his name was Will. I might have done that.
You might have. Very original. But either way, it's like, I do think that there's maybe some overlooking. And I do like Austin, when he was making the thumbnail for this, was like, who do you want to be on the thumbnail? And I was like, well, we're still early in the process. Like, I don't know. Like, let's get somebody to. He's like, well, who do you think is going to be most clickable? And I'm like, well, Savannah and Rizgod. And I feel bad for the 49 cast right now because I feel like there's this different kind of focus going into this season that's so rarely on a season of Survivor. It was on season 33, and now it's on this season. And maybe you could say it happened a little bit during 30 with Mike and Mama C. But there's this focus of how are Rizgod and Savannah going to do. Like the entire community is so focused in on them. And somebody had commented on another video saying like, well, did CBS spoil this? It's like, well, CBS never officially said the two names of the people who are going on. But that was obviously going to come out being what the Survivor community is. It's not like it's hidden. But I don't think they spoiled anything because we don't know the placements, but we're focused on them, which I feel for the other 16 people because they're going to play too. And the winner of this season might be sitting here going, my God, it's getting old. Like, this is my season of Survivor. I'm about to win this. This is annoying. So
I don't think if they have $1 million, they will care like all that much.
I don't know, dude. There's some people where it bothers. Adam Klein was on Reddit answering every single negative post about him post 33 after he won his $1 million.
I bet you I'm living rent free in Rachel Lamont's head still to this day.
You might be. You just might be.
Man. The only person who was her shooter.
I can't wait, man. I got the mediator role. I'm cracking my back. I'm ready to go. I want Blake versus Rachel. 15 rounds, man. That's it. All right. We get to finally talk about some different people. Let's talk about some different people, huh?
Okay, I'm going to step out for just a second.
Yeah,
Will's going to step out for just a second, mainly because he doesn't want to hear what my thing is. He should mute himself too. Just going to hear. He's actually
pick both of the ones that Will wants next, real quick.
Well, I don't know if I can do that because I don't know who anybody with those. I think that's why Will wanted the reverse order here, was so that it could be you and him just getting Savannah and Rizgod, and then I'm just here left out to dry.
That's very fun.
Yeah, for who?
I think he should. I think he should produce more of our content. He's great at that.
Yeah, Will's the best. Okay, so I'm going to go with another person from Savannah and Rizgod's tribe, the other person who's on the thumbnail for this, and I am going to take Jawan. That's going to be my pick here. I said it in the cast assessment, and I said, this is the person who I probably do connect the most with, really out of like the new era for a while, being that he's from like small town New Jersey, moved to LA, does the film thing, is like a huge Survivor fan, has been around for a while. I'm a big fan of Jawan. And so I think that there's one of two ways that this is going to go. Like either this red tribe is going to be an absolute disaster tribe, which is why Savannah and Rizgod become so popular, or they're going to be like really good. And maybe like there's more to that alliance, but really only two of them came. I just think that he has a full tool set. And on this tribe, there are 3 people who scream boot before any of the 3 people we have now mentioned. Like the other half of this tribe to me feels very obvious early boots. If I didn't know anything about 50, Jawan would absolutely be the person I would be focused in on coming into the season. He's my winner pick as of now. So I'm going to go with Jawan right here as my first one. Why are you laughing, Blake? What's so funny about that?
No, Jawan can win. I'm sure they definitely picked other people over him to be on 50 for some other reason so they could get redemption for sure.
Blake, dude. Blake's annoying, man. Blake, damn. All right.
No,
Blake,
it is interesting. Jawan is somebody that I was looking at of like, I don't know if it's famously, you guys have been paying attention to a couple seasons of me doing this now, but like, I don't really, I look at people face value and then I don't really watch videos of them. And boy, did Jawan's voice not really match his whatchamacallit. Like
his whole personality in the video did not match the photo that's out there.
Not at all.
Is Jawan has no chance to win because he's a video editor. Blake probably.
Well, as a video editor for the last 13 years, I don't think I could turn my back on somebody who has a job that, oh, did you digitize everything, Jawan? Of course I did, boss. Like, I know exactly what he's doing. And I haven't made a documentary or I think he made a short film or whatever, but good for Jawan. I think Jawan is somebody I'm going to root for just naturally because I think it'll be, oh, I could see myself saying that. Oh, I could see myself struggling with that. Oh, whenever he has a peak, I think that would be, it's going to be a strategic peak. I don't think I think if he wins an individual immunity, I think it will mean so much more to him than somebody like Jake Latimer. And like, I think being there and cheering for him would be a cool way to go through 49. I'm not jealous of this pick. I'm more saying, I think this is a pick. Jawan is somebody I want to watch and have some peaks and valleys and go through them with him.
Yeah. So I'm taking Jawan first. Honestly, after that, I'm like so all over the place because when Will and I did the cast assessment, it was like this person might seem like a lock anywhere else, but maybe on this tribe, they don't necessarily fit in. They could be kind of the outcast there, whatever. I don't know how this is going to go. I am.
Good pick. Good pick with Jawan.
Thank you. For my next pick, I'm going to pick this person just because if you have the courage, if you have the ability to say such a thing publicly, it's just like, I have to give you your props. And so I'm going to go with Christina. Right? That's the one who had Sandra shouldn't have beaten Lil.
I don't know if Blake has heard this yet.
What?
Yeah, Blake. So her hot take. Look, if you're gonna go hot,
I got to figure out who Christina is real quick. I'm
Camp Out in the Sun. She said that she doesn't think Sandra should have won her first game.
No.
And she wasn't necessarily saying Lil played like the best, but she said like Lil didn't choose to wear the outfit. Lil had his social game. You know what? If you're going to do that, I am going to pat you on the back and say, thank you for giving the Survivor community an actual hot take. Nate's hot take was, I don't like fire making. What are we doing? Like, we have Antarctica and we have the sun, and I want the sun. So I'm going to take Christina. Forget it. I don't care, man. I thought she was a lot.
Did she say a couple more?
Until I heard her say that I loved her. And then I heard her say that and I said, oh shit, but I'm going to take her anyway.
Did she elaborate at all?
She said that Lil didn't choose the outfit. She doesn't think Lil or Sandra played that good.
No, she said Lil is so good socially.
She knows how wardrobe worked on Survivor Pearl Islands back in 2003. Get out of my face, Christina. Christina gets last place.
I could reasonably deduct that like the show is like, oh, you're a Scoutmaster. We're going to put you in your Scoutmaster uniform for photo shoot day. And our twist of that season is that you don't get to bring anything with you and you have the clothes on your back. I think that's a reasonable thing to think that it wasn't her choice.
If Karina,
here's another reasonable thing though. Like
I'm not saying the whole take is recent.
No. Like Lil's pouty
Lil
face.
was
that
voted out.
meme-
Does Christina know that?
Dude, look, all I'm saying is Christina,
Essentially
everybody's
voted
gonna
out
rip you for this. I know
about
we
twice,
ripped you for this, but I think you have what it takes to win Survivor and overcome this. I'm taking Christina second.
Great. All right. Will, please pick somebody better.
Okay. So Blake, your vibes from this cast were nerd. My vibes from this cast that I got were like, I love you, like kumbaya.
We're all in this together.
Yeah, and like even when we went through the questionnaire, it's like, what do you want in an alliance member? And it's like almost half the cast answered, I want someone who values strong core family values and loyalty and passion and a good.
That's not the season I'm gonna win.
It's like, where did this come from? It's like honestly, everyone saw Joe and Eva, and then like, I don't like they didn't know. Like I think, wait, they did. They did.
They saw that moment. Yeah.
So like, I think everyone went in with Joe and Eva so fresh in their minds that they're like, I just want to play this like really loyal friendship based game. And there were very, very few people who said, I'm going to come play the game harder. I'm going to form this alliance or have this plan, or I'm going to blindside you bitches, or like go crazy and actually like play Survivor. Very few, maybe like 4 out of the 18 videos. Savannah was one of them. She's off the board. Risso was one of them. He's off the board. Joanna, Christina were not one of them, if I recall correctly. But someone who I do recall, there were 2 other people who I recall. And one of them is Nicole. Nicole had a very strong willingness to play the game. I think she mentioned backstabbing, blindsiding, like wanting to actually be a part of the game and not just hang out and be friends with everybody and focus on like loyalty and a strong alliance. So like I am looking at those players this season with a close eye, especially when there was only 4 out of 18 and 2 of them maybe are playing on a future season. Like the other people might be sitting ducks here for the people that want to take the kill shot. And Nicole seems like someone who will absolutely pull the trigger when she needs to. So I have a feeling she's going to be long for this game.
I was literally between Nicole and Christina. So, I'm not exactly pumped you picked Nicole. That was gonna be my pick, but I didn't.
I have Rizzo and Nicole. Like you could already award. I already get last pick next year.
I think you say
yeah,
this.
This is the season to throw it so that you get first pick for 50. So Blake, you can also throw this season again.
I'm losing this one too. Don't worry.
Yeah, he's doing it on purpose. Totally.
Honestly, Nicole's opening line, I don't know how it made you guys feel. I was very much like, is this a caricature of a person or is this whatever? She started out by saying, oh, I'm going to have to hang out with straight people. And you're just like, what? Is that how she's putting that out there?
She said she was like afraid of 6-packs, and then she's on a tribe with Jake.
And you're just like, what am I supposed to take from that? Of like, you don't want to work with straight people. Of course, there's gonna be straight people on Survivor. Obviously, you're going to be like, not showing as a lesbian, but like presenting as a lesbian, very butch lesbian. Like, there's not gonna be, you're gay, aren't you? That's gonna be like probably the first thing they talk about. I just thought it was a weird, like, we didn't even get anything else before that was your first thing to say, but she doesn't get to choose how she's edited. But like, that was a very interesting, like, is this going to be somebody that is rubbed the wrong way immediately and goes home? Or I think that more than clear Final 5 member in my head whenever I was watching that.
My computer's like exploding. So Will, you talk.
Yeah, I mean, see, those minute videos to me are so misleading. The questionnaires are almost more important. I think I mentioned this on the cast assessment where it's like, they were probably interviewed for 30 to 40 minutes and you get 1 minute of it. And it's kind of, what does the show take from that interview and how do they want to portray you? So it's like, does she say that seriously? Like, oh my gosh, there's going to be straight people. Like, she's not actually believing that. I do think it is like building into this character, and the show chooses to highlight that in her like minute long casting intro. So like, I'm not putting so much weight into that. I'm putting more into weight that like this cast, or at least the what we see in these videos and like what we see from these questionnaires is like not very game oriented or game related. Again, that could be the producers of these 1 minute videos not choosing to focus on game content. But if they are choosing it for some people and not for others, then I will pay attention to that. So
Go Phil.
Will and I talked about this where like Nicole's video did not match up with her questionnaire either, like at all. She says she's a love child of Boston Rob and Shambo.
I was like, that is a oof.
That is a lovely child.
I'm not picking the baby up from daycare. I'm gonna call
And she's the youngest woman on the season, second youngest player on the season. Only Rizgod is younger, so I don't know if that'll be an issue or not.
How old is she?
26.
26? This is an older cast, guys.
It is. Is Will that excited about it, or is he frozen? Oh god, dude, Will, the way you were just frozen was absolutely incredible.
I'm excited about the Boston Rob Shambo baby.
Yeah, I think it's a great pick. I think it's
so excited that she's on my team.
All right, I would have taken Nicole first overall. Blake's out on Nicole.
I am out on Nicole for now, but
good. That makes my
proven wrong
feel
immediately.
Much stronger.
I'll say, okay, so now I get 2 picks.
You do.
I'm going to spread them around on each tribe. So let's start off with a blue person.
This is shocking.
I am taking the hot guy from the north. The king of the north is back, baby. His name is Jake Latimer. He has been around the world stripping. I think male review is what we're calling it if we're on CBS. So I will call it male review, not stripping. But Jake Latimer, I think, is going to be our resident. How are they going to beat him? If there's any physical challenges, who's going to go against Jake? It's just not going to happen. Their tribe is going to be ahead in most every challenge. If they've got a puzzle person, they'll be fine. So Jake Latimer, everything I see about him, he seems like a reality contestant that is going to get manipulated and go home. And what place is that? 8th or 9th place? I know that's not probably the best one to take with 6th place, but I think if we're doing some point stuff, he's going to get a lot of tribal challenges. Maybe he'll win some immunities before he goes. And we never go like, hey, but he'll have around 285 points, but I think that'll be like where he goes. I don't think he's going to go home in the pre-merge at all. And I think even though he's not going to really relate well with this tribe, I don't think they're going to pull a Hunter from Marquesas on him of like, let's make it even harder for us and get rid of the only guy that's strong on our tribe. So I think Jake Latimer has an inroad to the merge, and that's what we're going for because 8 people won't, and I'd rather have somebody get in the 10 than the 8.
So Blake, you picked Savannah based on she's on 50, and Jake because you think he's incredibly hot. That's literally why you made these picks. Don't even try to act like it's
prowess. How dare you?
You're trying to like support this pick, but I think like Blake texted me and he was like, "Man, this cast, I don't know." And then he got to Jake and he was like, "I know." So he's back. I mean,
when you know. No, okay. There was a couple, and this is gonna happen again in a second. There was like, this is what I do in my real life, and I'm gonna grab a palm frond and do it now. And his was a hockey stick, and then somebody else's was a guitar, and I was like, I don't know if I could tell people I watch the show anymore. I'm gonna have to tell people I have a Survivor podcast, and that's how they're like. We do that for Big Brother a lot. Of like, I can't tell people I watch Big Brother, but like Survivor is maybe getting there. But you're just like, and Blake rhymes with Jake. So smart.
Was that a Lana Del Rey reference too? Did you just sing a half like a Lana song? Lana and Bleachers? Damn, dude. Yeah. I do actually like Lana, guys. I don't just wear the shirt just to wear the shirt. Anyway,
I wear the Julian Baker shirt all the time, though.
I do. Julian
shirt's
and Lana.
more frequent than Lana.
Maybe when I'm on with you, I know you'd make fun of Lana. You don't make fun of Julian. Blake,
I've got another person coming at you. I got to scroll up to see their name. I'm gonna go to yellow now. Watch out, the Hina tribe, or is it Haina like China? Do we know yet?
No idea. We probably won't know even after we watch the season. Jeff's going to say it once and we'll never hear it again.
It was between, no, I won't tell you it was between. I'm going to pick Steven, the rocket scientist, the person who I got to the end. I was like, He doesn't look nerdy. At least he won't be nerdy. Push play, and he goes, I'm a self-described nerd. I just do rocket science. I was like, oh my God, it's everybody on this season. I think he seems like more of like a Tommy Sheehan 139. I think he's going to be somebody that's involved in all the things. Can we get rid of him? We're more likely to get rid of the old guy. We're more likely to get rid of some other people in the tribe. Maybe Steven makes it through the beginning. I think whenever you're doing your first 3 picks, you're like, these are people that could potentially win, but I definitely want them to at least make the merge. That's where I'm going with those 2 people.
Will, what do you think about Blake's 2 picks there? I already know, but why don't you just tell Blake what you think about those 2 picks there?
I'm actually pretty high on both those choices, and I was eyeing Steven with my next pick. So
I thought you were low on Steven because of his tribe.
No. That's the Kumbaya tribe. Once we went through it, Steven, Matt, Jason, MC, Christina, and Sophie S. And Sophie S was the only one that gave me a little bit of bite and a little bit of like, I don't know, combative energy. And that's why I kind of fear for her, because everyone else seems like they're just like very pleasant to be around, and they don't really want to ruffle any feathers or rustle any feathers, if you will. Mm-hmm. So I kind of dig that tribe, at least those like Kumbaya people.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you were lower on Steven. Jake, I knew you were pretty high on. I almost took
high on Jake too. That Jake's tribe is then the more like, whoa, this tribe is a little bit more out there and chaotic and crazy. And I felt that Alex was the Kumbaya person, and that if Alex and Sophie switched, then everyone would kind of fit in with their tribe's vibe. So
I would go home on blue probably on day 1 of trying to figure out how to dislocate my knee
Blake,
to like
statement would be correct.
I agree with Will here. I mean, you got I just think that's so fun. I know who I want Blake to get stuck with at the end. I won't tell Will who I want Blake to get stuck with at the end, but I'm really hoping that Will and I leak, because Blake is going to have the last pick. He got the first one, but that also means he's going to get last.
Good.
And like, there is somebody I very much want Blake to get. So anyway, Will, who are you going to pick here?
I'm kind of between a couple people. I don't have someone that's jumping out, but let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go with MC. I got very good vibes from MC in her video. She seems very pleasant, and she's on the pleasant tribe. She seems like she's going to fit in. It seems like it can get along with anyone. She says she has resting bitch face, sort of, but that didn't really come through in her video. I don't know. She seems like it. Like there's other people to target here early, and I don't know if she makes a merge, then she doesn't seem to be like that big of a threat physically. Has been watching the show for like a year, so she's not going to be one of these like student of the game type threats. And maybe she wiggles her way to the end. I agree with Blake that you kind of earlier on in the draft, you want to pick people with a winning upside and not just pick people that are going to make the merge. But it seems like, at least to me, that MC is pretty safe. Like I think her floor is the merge, and then she can also have that winning upside.
See, I think she's in a lot of trouble. I don't think she actually can win because she's not a fan. And I think in the new era version of Survivor, you almost have to be a fan. I think the people who come in.
She's a big fan. She watched, what'd she say? She watched 27 seasons in a year.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't make you. I mean, that's like Rome saying he's the biggest fan of Survivor because he binge watched a bunch. Like, I don't think.
No, I get what you mean, and I think watching it week to week and participating in the conversations and listening to podcasts or going on forums, not the ones that Blake goes to because that would be cheating, but like.
If the biggest fan of Survivor is not 25 years old.
If you're involved week to week in the conversation and discussion surrounding the show and the moves and the decisions, I do think that very much helps you. Whereas if you're kind of watching them in a row and just binging them in isolation and not really thinking through, okay, what was the best move? What was the best way to do that? Or like, what was another way they could have pulled this off better? Or like, where did this person go wrong? You know, those are conversations that we have every week after each episode. And so if she's not participating in the show to that level, then yes, that can hurt her. But it's not like she's going to come in here and be like, what's an idol? what's a lost vote? Like, she's gonna know the basic rules. And like, we rip on the new era all the time for having so many twists and like journeys and all these little trinkets and shots in the dark and all. None of it is that overly complex where you can't pick it up after watching the show for a year. So like, don't really worry about her too much.
Yeah, I get this from Daryl Seymour. Kyle was running circles around his alliance. Like, that's what I fear for the people who are new, is like, you don't actually ever gather win equity, because the people who really do understand it, yeah, she can make it far, but the people who really do understand the game are the ones who are going to ultimately have the winner potential at the end. So that's how I feel. That's how I thank you, Jay Byrne. The winner of last year's fantasy game says MC no shot. And that's what's important to me.
I think that's a very interesting question that we brought up of like, what is the age of the biggest super fan of all time? And I think you become obsessed with Survivor around like when you were 13 to 17 years old. So you had to be 13 to 17 years old while Rich was beating.
No, that's not true.
You don't think so?
What are you talking about?
Blake tries to say that like a 25-year-old can't be a super fan of the game.
The 25-year-olds can't be super fans because they were -1 years old.
Here's my take from that though. The people who were like, 13 to 17 or like in their 20s or early 30s or something when Rich was winning, those are the Mario Lanzas of the world who are like, I hate what the show has become. I think that you have to be 33 years old. That would be my guess as what
your exact age
for the super fan is. Because we were.
I feel like you could be a fan at I think you'd be a fan at any age. Like, I really think you can be. And like, especially because you can go back and again, you have to put in the work. You don't just get to become a super fan by watching the show or watching every episode of the show, but like, I remember even doing some rewatches like way back in the day, like before we even had a podcast, Phil. And I was like for some reason rewatching Caramoan, and I was like, wow, that like double idol play by Malcolm, that was nuts. And I like went back and like listened to like the RHAP recap from that episode, like stopped my rewatch, didn't hit next episode. I was like, I want to hear people discuss this because it was a really fun move. It actually like
Will died.
I'm glad we got the hour of exposition first, though.
Will, you died.
You can't be 1 year old. You need to at least be a like reasonable thinking age. But like, it's not impossible to pick up on Survivor if you are dedicated to the cause.
Yeah. Well, you died when you got to like the point there, but that's okay. We got the gist of it at the end. All right, I get 2 picks. Here's the shame of this. I pick here, and then I don't pick again until there's only going to be 4 people left on the board. So I'm kind of trying to figure out who. There's a couple people that I don't think you guys will ever pick. And I'm just trying to make sure that those are the people that I can get at the end, because I don't think I'm necessarily going with this cast because like Blake said, it's kind of quirky. It's kind of all over the place. Like, I think that the really quirky people or the really out there people are people that maybe will stick around for a little bit. So with my next pick, do I have somebody from Yellow yet? Christina. What tribe are you on, Christina? She is on Yellow. Okay.
Christina's on Yellow.
I am going to take Alex next. The political comms guy. Will's laughing. I'll take Alex.
Oh, shit.
Okay. And
he seems like too nice of a guy for his tribe. He belongs in the Yellow tribe.
I disagree with that. I don't think he feels like too nice of a guy for his tribe. I think his tribe is just like, now the more I look at this, like Alex, Jake, Nicole, that could be an alliance. Why not?
Yeah, and then Nicole and Jake get together and vote out.
Yeah, Alex at Final Four. That's all. I'm not worried.
You took a political strategist in Survivor in 2025?
You don't think so, Blake? You think this is a bad pick?
The last one went home in 18th place.
Dude, John Lovett's not a political strategist anymore. John Lovett is a podcaster. He's a political podcaster. Like he doesn't, he's saying things for clicks at this point. Like, come on, stop that.
Very different.
Stop that, Blake.
Like you, Phil.
Yeah, seriously, I just have hot takes. That's why I took Alex here. You guys really don't like Alex, huh?
I think he seems
not my
like
favorite.
a well guy, but I don't think he ended up on the right tribe, Phil. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that his video was about, I want to break the margarita curse at the Survivor auction. I was like,
that was his hot take too.
Why are we talking about this? And also like care about something that matters.
Well, here's something that matters, guys. We have already said numerous times on this podcast that you're not in control of the video they put out for you. So if CBS has decided that that's
that means there was nothing more interesting, though.
Maybe that means that he makes it to the margarita portion of this game. I mean, let's play a little 4D chess here. Maybe I'm reading into what CBS is giving me, and I think he's final 6 or 7, you know?
I mean,
that's not going to break.
Even if he gets there, we don't even know like when that is, and that's not that far. Like usually auctions early merge, and they merge pretty early. So,
with my next pick in the season 49,
you got this, Phil. Good luck.
I'm going to take somebody who I wasn't super high on in our original video, but I think here in the 4th round has a lot of value because if things go their way, they can make a really deep run. And I'm going to take Sophie Belardi, not Sophie with an E, Sophie without the E. My reason too is like she's saying that she wants to play with a meat shield and she's on the tribe with Jake. So I think that really helps her out. I also think that like the more I look at this tribe, maybe she ends up being the first person booted, maybe. But I do think that there's just so many strong personalities over there that eventually like somebody's going to annoy somebody on day 1 and Sophie won't be that person. Also, I didn't realize, thank you, Blake here with the Sophie B Leavers. I didn't realize Sophie's North Carolina small school was Duke. So she went to Duke. Like that, I thought she was like saying that she went to some like random small school in North Carolina. It's like, yeah, Duke is small, but I think we all know Duke. So I'll do Sophie here as the my wife went to Duke pick, and let's
she's
support
Cuban.
Sophie. My wife?
No, Sophie.
Yeah.
The last Cuban girl we had is
I'm surprised you took Sophie, Blake, or Phil, because I was much higher on Sophie in the cast assessment than you.
I said that. I said I wasn't originally high on her, but then as I start to look at the cast and everything again, and now, you know, Bloom's been putting out more interviews. RHAP has been putting out more interviews. Like you're starting
you've been
to
doing
get
your research. Wow.
Wow.
I don't actually think Sophie has any.
Hmm?
What?
You're not allowed to go look at more interviews, bro.
Yeah,
I'm going to take Sophie here. I honestly also, I think that the person who I would have taken here, I think I'm going to get. I do. I think I'm going to get them anyway. So that's also why I'm taking a little bit of a chance.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see.
All right, back to me, right?
Yep.
Okay, this was actually the person I was between my last round. So I'm glad that I picked someone that, you know, or that I didn't pick this person because they're left here. And this is Jason. Again, I love this yellow tribe because it seems like they're going to get along, except for Sophie S. So I'm banking a lot on that. Outside of that, he seems like just a cool dude to be around. I don't see why you'd vote him out early. He's like probably pretty good at challenges, but not like incredibly good where you're going to be threatened by him once the merge hits. So he seems like a cool dude. I'm in on Jason.
I'm out on Jason. MC and Jason I wouldn't have picked here at the turn no matter what, Will. So you were going to get them both. Blake's dancing.
And I got my people without getting.
I love my team. I don't know who. I don't know what.
I don't like the Jason pick. Jason's video. Video was he was talking about like not being humble and that his smartness was going to come out and like stuff like that. He's
really smart. It's honestly him being
much. It's going to hurt him.
I think he was so self-aware that he's like realizing how smart he is and that he's like aware that he potentially might not be humble about being smart, but him even saying that makes it that he is humble. So like he covered it by saying it. That's how smart he is. He's a genius. That's what he is.
I'm out. He relates to Kenny. Of course, Will's taking him. That's from St. Cliffo. Jason relates to Kenny. Of course, Will's taking him. So there you go. Most that Blake can really dance. So I mean, Will, that's not a surprising pick from you being the whole Kenny situation there. I think Jason plays himself out of the game.
I didn't even really think about Kenny when making the pick. Maybe that's subconscious, or maybe that's just the type of person I gravitate towards. But like, he seems like, not only does he seem like smart and nerdy, but like he seems like he's got like a like relaxed, chill vibe where he's not going to be like Cochran nerdy, where he's like correcting everyone's grammar and like using synonyms for words nonstop.
That's like, Steven on this cast, actually.
I think that is more of Steven. I think Jason has a more social vibe. I see social game from him more so than I do from some of these other maybe nerdier people. But he does seem legitimately like a very smart person. And he says I believe that he is smart.
Mm-hmm. All right. Blake, you get back-to-back picks. These are your last 2 picks, and then you're just going to get stuck with whoever's left.
But I don't care because I got these 2 people. We talked about Steven just now. We talked about Jason just now. Who's the third yellow guy? It's Matt. What's his last name?
Well, he's throwing bags, baby.
I've been giving a slight preview with all the suitcases I have above my head, but I think he's somebody where you're like, okay, he's from Utah. We've seen a lot of people from Utah. What does Utah mean? Is he Mormon? We got to figure all this out. I did like his stuff of like, you throw bags for 10 years. Like, I'm going to have core strength that you've never believed. Those are whenever we have people over 50 on reality shows, they always talk a big game because they have to be good enough to go against people. Sometimes they fall immediately on their face and go home immediately. But I do think Matt is somebody where I wouldn't want to go against him in like move these crate like puzzle pieces around like we see in every new era early time. I think he's going to be one of the people that like Jake Latimer is going to be so far ahead, but actually no, Matt's right behind him in the strength part. And it's going to be like, wait, what? And everyone's going to be like, holy crap, we need Matt around. I do like the thought process of I have dreads because people talk to me about it. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be interested in if that flies for his tribe or like, he's a weird dude. Or if it's going to be like, I have never met somebody like you, Matt, before in my life. Me personally, I have not met someone like Matt in my life. I kind of like that in season 49 of this show, where this isn't somebody we've seen before on this show. I'm excited, cool older hippie dude, but you're Utah. And then he's like, but I was also 10, 15 years as a stock trader. I just got bored of it. I got bored of making a bunch of money. So I became a guy who throws things at the airport. I'm like, okay.
Matt's an interesting character. People are asking a lot in here, comparing him to Gabler, saying could Gabler's win potentially hurt him? Like, what do you think about all of that? I don't think he's as weird as Gabler. And I say that really liking Gabler. Like, I think that Matt is a little bit more normal than Gabler, which will actually help him early on. I just, I worry with the older guy. I always worry with the older guy. And he's the only one who's from, I think, the middle of the country other than Christina. And, and when I say middle of the country, it's like barely not on the West Coast, but, they cast so coastal and so city-like now that it does worry me a little bit for Matt.
And now,
I think it's good value this late. I mean, I could see him going early. I could see him going early merge. I don't know if he has winning upside, but like at this point, this late that he's still on the board, I think you got good value. So
I like the value. I also would take him over a couple people on each of y'all's spots so far, but like it was nice. I took Steven instead of Matt instead of Steven because you guys would have taken Steven. So I'm playing the game, guys.
You are correct. I would have taken Steven. I would not have taken Matt. I think Matt has that risk of not fitting in. There's not only from where he's from, but like even his vibe and his age. Honestly, it's tough in the new era. Like when they cast like one old person per gender, and it's like you're the old person. Hopefully you do okay.
3 people over 40 on this season, and they're all on different starting tribes.
Yeah, it's a tough way to start. Not that it can't happen, but yeah.
And now they describe themselves as wacky.
No.
In a season of the most nerdiest, wackiest, quirkiest season of all time, I'm going to take the number 1 quirker, and that's going to be Sage.
Oh, okay.
Thank God.
Sage Aarons-Nichols. She was in the army, but what does it define her? She keeps blackheads in a jar. Don't ever tell anybody that. Why are you saying that? I think it's something where I'm going to try and get a couple people on yellow, get a couple people on red. Maybe I get a blue person at the end because there's so many blue people left because we all don't like that tribe apparently. I'm spreading myself around, so no matter who wins immunity, I always come out on top. I'll have two on each tribe.
It's like 2 people left on the blue tribe. Like,
Oh, maybe I haven't been paying attention correctly. So Sage is somebody that I think, does she win? No. Is this I picked Charity last time. I thought Charity had it upside. I picked the person who everybody thought was dating that one guy that made it to the end. What's that guy's name? These people got dumped out of my head now that I'm learning new people's names.
Who made it to the? What are you talking about? Joe, Kyle, Eva?
No, who got second place on to Rachel?
Oh, Sam.
Sam Phelan. Sorry, I know his last name. Sam Phelan. He was with Sierra. Sierra went home. She's the next Sierra and Charity. They get basically to merge and get eliminated. I'm gonna guess she gets actually like 13th place though.
Wow. So you're pumped to have a person who's gonna get 13th place?
Based on all the other people, yeah, I don't want any of some of these other people, but I love them. Good luck on Survivor.
Get at least one.
I know. I'm not looking forward to this.
Yeah, you like literally think you took the ceiling here if you think she gets 13th place because there's 5 people left. So
there's
you
like
think
4. There's 5 people left. I think there's 3 of them that I'm like, something really turned me off in their bio, and that did not happen with Sage.
Okay. I like Sage. Sage was one of the people that I said I could see being like, have been like one of the 50 people if I hadn't known the 50 people because she is so weird. But it's like, is that going to click on the show? I have no idea.
Okay. Yes.
Well done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not super high on Sage or Shannon or Nate. I think Jawan was maybe the only other. It's tough because with the Rizzo and Savannah of it all, it's like, are they the disaster tribe? They don't look that strong physically, so it would make sense. Is it Rizzo and Savannah coming together? Are they eating up screen time? Are they becoming the fan favorites and like the main characters of the season? And if that tribe is going to tribal council a lot early, then they can't all survive. And so Sage, Shannon, and Nate stick out to me as people I don't want on my tribe because, they could be early boots. So
who do you want on your tribe, Will?
Well, for that reason, that leaves me with Jeremiah or Annie, and I am going to go Jeremiah here. Jeremiah was somebody who
I thought that's who Blake was going to get.
Who he showed also willingness to play the game. Again, in a cast where it feels like more people are down to hang out and make serious bonds than do go and play Survivor. And this is a fantasy game where we are awarded points for advantages, idols, fake idols, everything like that. So while I don't think he is maybe like in the best position starting out, there's definitely a world where he goes earlier as like one of the pre-merge boots. If he does find legs in this game, I could see him going very far and racking up points with some of the advantage points that are divvied out.
Bro, he got hit by a car.
That is Blake. I know was going to hate Jeremiah. I know Blake did not want Jeremiah on his team in any way, shape, or form.
I never said that.
But there's so many people on this season that I feel like the split between top of the cast and bottom of the cast is very noticeable. I don't hate the Jeremiah pick. I wasn't going to pick Jeremiah because again, I was just trying to get it to Blake. But what was Jeremiah's video, Will?
I remember him being very high energy and like ready to play.
Very.
I could see also Nicole and Jeremiah teaming up and forming an alliance.
Probably a strong one.
Based on Nicole's lineup, I can't believe I have to be around straight people like this. Like
I think Nicole's going to gravitate towards Jeremiah and be like, you're someone who I want to spend time with, and maybe they can I don't know, form a good bond, and then bring some people in. Bring in that 6-pack. Bring in Jake.
Bring in that 6-pack, which is Jake. Yeah, I mean, I knew I'd get this person. I made the right move taking Sophie. I'm going to get Annie.
Sophie B and they eliminate Alex. There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to take Annie in my pick. So we've taken all 6 people of the blue tribe.
Get her out of here,
dude. I would have taken Annie. Was higher on my list than Sophie and Alex. I had her higher on the list than both of them, and I knew that no way either one of you were going to take her. So I'm fine with it. Older women on Survivor New Era go far. They just do. They get you points in this type of fantasy game. They kill it. And I think Annie, she's loud. She's like big personality. I think she's going to get along really well with the younger people on this tribe. I think that her energy just feels like Survivor. I don't think she's going to win, but getting her here, I should have taken her in the 6th round to really rub your noses in it once it actually comes down to Annie killing it. But I love getting Annie this late. I feel like everybody always underestimates the older woman. Look, to me, maybe her upside is Ben from 46, but some people might be like, well, that's not good upside. He finished 3rd. Like, he finished 3rd. He won immunity. He had some confessionals in there. Like, there was enough to like about Ben to get a lot of points on the season. So I'm going to take Annie. I think Annie was seriously like, she might have been top half for me. And I just knew no way anybody was going to take her. I thought when Blake said quirky, I was like, damn, he's going to take Annie instead of Sage. And here I am.
A lot of quirky people at the bottom of this draft.
Yes.
You have never watched Big Brother?
Nope.
But here's a thought process for everybody that is a fan of both. If you're in the Venn diagram of Big Brother and Survivor, on Cerie's season of Big Brother, the person who got 3rd place was a 40-something-year-old musician from Australia named Bowie Jane. And she had so much charisma and so much fun, and she was good at challenge, or she could win some challenges, and she had the personality. She made 3rd place. She was dragged. She couldn't win a thing. She had no win equity, drove everyone crazy. She got up in her final tribal speech, we don't call it that in Big Brother, and said the dumbest shit of all time, where people have memed it to death. I can't see that. It's the same caricature, just you're in Texas instead of Australia, and Texas is the Australia of America, kind of. She seems like another Bowie Jane. I want no part of that. But
what place did you say Bowie Jane got?
3rd place.
Okay.
But
I want
it's
that
blood money. It's blood money, Phil. Take your win, but it's blood
Texas
money.
is the America of Australia?
No,
Texas is the Australia of America.
What's the Australia of America?
For years now.
What does that mean? Australia is a country. Australia is the Australia of...
If you had to put states based on other countries of like the culture and what's valued, I think Australia and Texas are a match.
Okay, so you're matching countries to states. Okay, that's where I was off on the what we were matching what to what. I thought we were maybe doing Australian states to states. Like Perth is the Ohio of America. Okay, I get it. I get it now, maybe.
Yeah.
Phil, I like the pick. Not someone who I was like going after, but not someone I would have been angry with. She ended up on my team. You're obviously higher on her than I am, but she comes with a lot of risk. I think she's someone who could go first on her tribe, and I think that's what the tricky part is. But you're getting her essentially as your last pick or your second to last pick because you're back to back. So I can't blame you there. And then you're right. There is like final tribal council 0 vote getter upside. Like we see it all the time. Like, or even just having like Sue. Wait, did Sue didn't make it to final?
Yeah, she sat at final tribal. If Sue and Ben Katzman had a
literally
baby,
forgot that Sue even got all the way to final 3. Like that's crazy to me. But like, yeah, there is that world where she becomes the older woman who disappears and is not a threat, so no one votes for her, and she just gets a spot at final 3, and that's where you're getting your points. There's a world where she's the first boot of the season.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what, Will? I knew you wouldn't take this person. I was worried Blake would take this person, but Blake was so blinded by Matt and all that. You said so many times that this person does not fit on their tribe, but what if they do? What if their tribe wins every challenge to start? Then this is a great pick. Much better pick than Sage. I'm taking Sophie with an S.
I agree.
Sophie with the E. Like, I feel like this is a steal in the 6th round. She knows the game. She loves the game. She does like the Survivor family Christmas competition where she's not allowed to play anymore and all of that. I think that getting her in the 6th round is an absolute steal. She has huge, huge upside. Could she be the first boot because that tribe just doesn't work out for her? Absolutely. But TK was the first boot on his tribe too. And I think that might have been Will's winner pick. So like I sit here. He was. I sit here and I look at Sophie and I don't love her position with MC and Matt and Christina and Jason and Steven. But at the same time, man, if Matt sucks in that first challenge or annoys everybody, even though he seems like he'll be good at challenge, but if he annoys everybody, if Christina, doesn't perform in the challenge, if MC drives people crazy, if Jason thinks he's smarter than he is and blows the puzzle. Sophie could find her way in, like getting her in the 6th round. I'm all about it. I think that she's light years ahead of the 2 others that are remaining.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Like, you get the first pick of the 6th round. So, like, I agree she would have been my pick here with the 3 remaining. But I still think from where I sit and where I'm looking at her tribe that she would be like a bottom 4 or 5 pick for me. And so she obviously was not on my board ahead of Jeremiah. I think Jeremiah brings more upside. So, but I don't hate it.
I would have
really
taken
don't.
her over.
I don't hate any of these last picks. Honestly, like you left me with the 2 people I didn't want out of the 4 people you could have chosen. Like, if my next 2 picks, they would have been Annie and Sophie, and Nate and Shannon would have been still on the board. So, like, I am kind of bummed that you didn't take one of Nate or Shannon. I would have been happier with Sophie or Annie, but that's okay.
Yeah, I would have taken Sophie over Sage, Jason, and Jeremiah. That's it, though. So really, she was a 5th rounder for me at best. But still, like, I'm happy to get her here at the end. So,
and it's nice that you have both Sophies, so we don't have to wonder the rest of our lives which is which.
Yeah,
thank you, Phil, for thinking about us.
I'm here for both of you. Did I get both Moores too? There's 2 people with the last name Moore. I know I got Alex. Who's the other one? Nate is the other one. I didn't take Nate.
The cast brothers on the same tribe, or is that father son, or what is it?
The 21-year difference. It's probably more father son.
Wait, is this
or is it uncle and nephew?
Twin twist?
A twin twist. All right, Will, make your last pick and give Blake whatever's left.
Oh, this is really tough because I just have a hunch that like both of these players are going to be like pre-mergers.
Do you want to shake hands and not take a 6th person and just make Phil sick with the 6?
Blake got stuck with Stephanie last year. I think he took her at the beginning of the last round, and she got him -3 points, so he would have been better off not taking anyone.
Right. I think Nate is the safer pick. I think Shannon is the riskier, but has more.
Shannon's got upside.
I kind of put Shannon and Sage together in my head, where there's just like both the quirk, like they felt like very similar in that they're very weird and quirky, and like I didn't really differentiate them. So I don't know if it kind of be funny if Blake ends up with Sage and Shannon. I guess just for that reason alone, I will take Nate. And
I'll Venmo you. Don't let him lock this in yet. I'll Venmo you $20
to take.
No,
what do you want, Blake?
I'm good. That's collusion. I'm not. I play by the rules, Blake. So I'm taking Nate.
Blake, are you happy with this pick?
I literally didn't want Shannon so bad. I literally let's let him do Nate first. I'll do Shannon afterwards. Let me pull it up.
I mean, I don't need to like. I
don't think he needs to say anything else.
I think Nate is in a tough spot here. Like again, I mentioned like with the Rizzo and Savannah, like if there are standout players, they have to stand out against somebody. So, like, that's not good. And then he's also older. I've mentioned like this tribe is very young. The new era is very young. It's often very tough for older players, even if they are smart, even if they're savvy with the game. You just don't see many older people make it far and like find their way into power on a new era season. I think we've seen it like one time. Gabe, and that's literally it. And he wasn't even
wasn't even in power.
So like we've never seen it. I'm looking at like Nasir and Cedric, and why can't I think of anybody else? Because they're like these players don't last long. Like, who are the older men of the new era that have like found success besides Gabe?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that people are saying here is that like Nate is a fan. Like Nate has that line at the beginning of like,
How are you forgetting Bruce and Roxroy?
Yeah, Bruce went pretty far. Roxroy made the merge. But Nate said he learned to swim because he didn't want to be the black man who got on Survivor and didn't know how to swim. But he learned it like well in advance because he always one day wanted to be on Survivor. So he is a fan.
No, he is. I'm not saying he's not. It seems like these players I feel like the game moves so fast and it's like happening around them and they're not fully in. Like Blake or Bruce was never fully in on what was going on. His tribe just kept winning challenges and he got to the merge. Right there, like he was never felt like he was in a good spot. Roxroy was like kind of like head in the clouds, like didn't really know what was going on. Nasir didn't really know what was going on.
Mike Turner, he finished second. Will heard that. His internet was like, we don't want anything to do with Mike Turner. Like, forget Mike Turner, buddy. We don't want that. Poor Mike Turner just broke Will. Will.
Yeah, no, Mike Turner, I get different energy from Nate than I do Mike Turner. I also like don't put them in the same archetype. Like he's like the fireman, policeman guy, and that's a different archetype than like the older, wiser man, which is what I'm getting from Nate.
Also, this game is perfect for a hero like Black Panther T'Challa. He said it out loud. So I think how I would prefer somebody answer that question is go, you're really going to make me say a Marvel character would be good at Survivor instead of just walking right into that soundbite. But I know when you're wanting to play ball and they already kicked 2 people off the show, you're probably like, you guys could ask any question about anything and I would make it say something dumb like that. But I was like, oh, Nate, why are you saying that? Please don't say it.
Let's talk about Shannon.
All right.
You're so excited to have Shannon. I hope she wins,
Okay.
Blake, just so that you can eat your words again with the winner.
Shannon Fairweather. Blake is now a Fairweather fan. That's what
I hate.
Let's go.
Pretty good. I can't hate that one because it works on a lot of levels.
I hate it because Blake's been thinking about it for an hour and 15 minutes.
I
hate it.
I literally came up with it in 7 seconds. That's how good I am. Okay. I'm just going to read you a paragraph and I want you guys to strap in, and by how I read this and y'all's reaction, this will explain why.
Oh God, Will left.
One thing is clear when talking with Shannon Fairweather. She's here for the vibes. That's the literal core of the entrepreneur's business, Her Vibe, a spiritual community for women. But it also speaks to the frequency with which the 27-year-old has in every step she takes. Shannon's unique sense of faith has her connected to higher presences, hoping her sense of self-actualization and go-getter attitude can create heaven on earth in Fiji. The powers that be have led to several Survivor synchronicities in Shannon's life, most notably with Boston Rob Mariano working at his parents' sports bar before his reality TV career took off. And she was happy. They screwed that. Working at her parents' sports bar, that is an actual typo.
This is Mike Bloom, and he's a very good writer, Blake.
No, I'm using Mike Bloom, and we're gonna go off on this.
Now he is making you sound clever and smart and fun, and I appreciate that. He really dove into the vibes thing here.
Mariano was working at her parents' sports bar before his reality TV career took off, and she was happy to use the family connection to get some pregame advice from the legend, as well as words of wisdom from an artificial intelligence she programmed to act like Jesus and Ram Dass.
So yeah, anyway, Shannon's a lot. What I did find interesting is that we are doing this podcast today on Survivor 49, the day that it's been announced that there's going to be like a Survivor cafe that's going to be in Boston. And it's going to be, I think, at Shannon's parents' old bar or something like that. Like, I literally think like that is what's happening here. So look, Shannon's here. Shannon's going to play. Shannon feels like Kendra to the 1,000,000th degree. Like Shannon feels like we liked Kendra. Let's get the most extreme version you can possibly find of Kendra. I don't think Shannon's long for this game, but I don't know. The fact that they're doing the pop-up cafe in her parents' bar.
Well, because that's where Boston Rob used to like be a bartender. So it's like part of that reason too.
And Jeff was like,
is that the coolest part about Boston Rob? Can we also go see where he did his failed reality TV show hosting gigs too and have something there?
Well, I think they're just the Survivor Cafe is going to travel around the country. This is kind of like what we talked about in the hand where the fans' hands land. Like Where was the year-long celebration leading up to 50? I think we're finally starting to get a taste of it with the Survivor Cafe. It seems like the Survivor Cafe is going on tour, and they're going to pick different locations. If you're going to pick a bar in Boston to open up, why not do it for a contestant on 49 and where Boston Rob used to work? So it all makes sense.
Yeah. No, I get that. What do you got for me, Blake? Anything else? Anything else you want to read?
It's just something where you're like, I don't like that Kendra wasn't my favorite. I'm not hoping that that's an archetype that we see every season. I don't think I would work well with those people on Survivor. It's not that makes I can't work with them or watch them win or something. It's something where as soon as somebody goes, your vibes are off and they're being serious, and it's not just because you looked at them weird. Like when they're like, no, astrologically your vibes are off. I kind of would rather you vote someone out because their strategy thing, or you actually don't like them, or you know what, I've been to Duke and I don't like people that went to Duke because this and this, and like the reasons that we can like make actual hot takes on stuff aren't spiritual stuff. Or I'm gonna be the first male Taurus to win. Whenever Jeremiah says that, I immediately shut down. That's not something I resonate with. And for her to be like, I am that to the 1000th degree, and I made an AI with Jesus and the originator of whatever Ramdas is. I'm like, why are you doing that? Why are you telling people that? Why are people excited about that? Like, no, I'm not a big AI guy. And she's made 6 businesses, and I'm just so shut out, where I was hoping not to get Shannon.
Yeah, I mean, Shannon's got an uphill battle, that's for sure. That is for absolute.
What made you want to pick Sage and not pick Shannon? That's where I'm confused. And maybe that's just me like doing a quick ass assessment and then just lumping them together and not having read. Or
I have to tell you off camera. I do, but there's a reason.
All right.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I would have taken Sage over.
Our spoilers there strikes again.
One thing I can allude to. Let me actually read her thing. 2 seconds.
Oh, he's reading again. I just want to say this. I would have taken Sage over Shannon because I think Sage leans into it a little bit. I think Shannon really is like this is her life. This is like how she operates. I don't think that's how Sage operates necessarily.
Okay, so Sage's paragraph from Mike Bloom. I don't know. I've never heard this phrase in my life. Cards up. This is not the first session I'm having with clinical social worker Sage. Having originally applied for Big Brother, you can expect quite the unexpected resume from this person. So there's some subtext there. If she's applied for Big Brother, and that's where the subtext is.
Okay.
Anyway.
Good answer, I guess.
All right. Yeah, that works. All right. Anyway, preseason coverage is going to keep on continuing. Will and Blake are going to do over-under game next week. I'm out. Will and Blake are going to do over-under game next week. You're actually going to see Blake twice, like 2 times. Next 2 weeks, Blake will be on both. So Will and Blake next week. Then it's looking like Blake and Tegwith the week after for some pregame coverage. And then Will and I should be back for prop bet. It looks like Peridium's going to join us for that again. So that's fun. So we should have him the week before the premiere happens, and then we'll get into our Survivor 49 season coverage. If you want to play in this fantasy game, become a patron, patreon.com/specialist. Top tier patrons get to play in the game for a prize, and you also get to participate in our power rankings game, which starts after the first episode. Over under game next week, Will and Blake. I'm excited for you guys to crush that and kill it and do good things and hopefully come up with good props, because I think Will last season, 15 of the 18 went under. So, oops. Crazy how that works. But anyway,
like it doesn't mean the lines were bad. It just that's kind of how the season shook out. You never know.
Yeah. And that'll also be a competition that everybody can participate in. Robert Intern is going to be putting together another Google form for that one so everybody can participate. So that'll be next week. This weekend, Tegwith is going to continue the Survivor AU versus the World coverage. She's going to be there Sunday. She's going to be there Monday. And then her and McKenna will be back on Tuesday. So that's been great. And then Will, maybe you're doing finale with them. Maybe you're not. I know I'm out for all of this, but we'll see what happens.
I'm going to hop into the AU episodes when I can. I'm enjoying the season a lot. I would highly recommend checking out the episodes if you haven't watched, and checking out the podcasts in between each episode. Like I said, if you want to be a super fan, you got to listen to the podcast and recaps, even if you're watching on a binge. Make sure to include that and join us in the conversation. It's been a fun season.
We had Adam Klein on. Adam Klein on after episode 5, and then episode 6 aired like 4 hours later. So still go listen to the Adam episode before that, you know?
Exactly.
Since you're not going to be there, who's going to win Survivor versus the World, Phil?
Dude, like the way that it is edited right now, Parvati won 6, 7, however many jury votes to nothing. That's what it feels like right now. So,
yeah. Also, Phil, when are you going to put out your 4.5 minute YouTube where you talk about the boot list order?
Monday before the season premieres. Good way to remember that, Blake, because you're the one who's going to be editing that.
That's
so
why I was like, you better do that before you go to Canada or wherever the hell.
No, I'll be doing that when I first come back. You'll just have to get it turned around in like 3 days. So, yeah, other than that, patreon.com/thespecialist. If you want to listen to the three of us ramble about Redemption Island, and you're becoming a top tier patron now to join the fantasy game, become a top tier patron. You get to listen to all of our Every Season Matters coverage. We're in the middle of Redemption Island now. You'll be able to go back and listen to seasons 1 through 21 before suffering through Redemption Island, just like we suffered.
I'm telling you, the bad seasons are the more fun conversations, because we just rip into the season, and it's a lot of fun.
It is. I agree with that.
But honestly, Cochran's play this time around makes just as much as no sense at all as it did when it pissed me off.
Well, we're talking about Redemption Island still, Blake. South Pacific doesn't air until September something. September 11th. So, yeah. Anyway, go ahead, everybody.
Perfect start date.
Yeah. Patreon.com/thespecialist. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Let us know whose fantasy team you think is best. And Blake and Will see you guys next week. Tegwith will see you all on Sunday. Otherwise, I'll see you all in 2 weeks when I am back from my trip. Bye, everybody.
See you.
Yeah. Wait, did I get